Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Commodity TV and the Precious Metals Summit, day 2 here in Zurich. And we start in the morning. Our first interview partner is Peter Akerley, the CEO of Erdene Resources Development. Peter, good morning.
Good morning. Wonderful to be here in Zurich.
Yeah, thanks for taking the time. Long time no see. I think we just realized it was November 2019.
Yes, pre-COVID, long time ago.
My goodness, that's 4 years. Yeah, so really long time. And I remember at that time you guys were in the development, as your name of the company says. But it looks like that you guys developed it very well and you're now going into production or ramping into production.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, plenty has happened since 2019. You know, about that time, we were just getting our teeth into what we now call the New Khundii Minerals District. And in that district, we've discovered now 3 high-grade at-surface gold discoveries. And we are in construction on the initial deposit, the Баянхөндii deposit, a 4-gram head-grade open-pit deposit, a great foundational project for this new district.
Fantastic. So that means you have that all financed. You are in the construction. You still have some reserves because we know there are always surprises.
Yes. So the financing of this project in the early part of this year, January, we entered into a relationship with Mongolia's leading mining company, MMC. MMC has injected $40 million into the project to earn a 50% interest in our subsidiary. On top of that, we've maintained a 5% NSR. So when you look at the simple economics on that, it's kind of a 60-40 net profits between ourselves and MMC. But their 40 million injection is critical in this environment where it's so difficult to raise equity. But we'd already established a mandate letter with Export Development Canada for the senior debt element, and we're now working through the final pieces of that. So the full funding package would come in at about 115 million, 75 senior debt and 40 from MMC. The capital cost based on the recent feasibility update is $100 million. So we feel we're in a fully financed project that will produce 85,000 ounces per year.
Okay, that's the average or the top?
That's the average over the 6-year mine life. We'll enter in 2025, first production early 25. We'll hit about 60,000 ounces that year and then go to steady state averaging actually 87,000 ounces a year for the following 5. But the pipeline is full of great projects as well. So we see this as a long life and or expanded opportunity as we move forward.
Okay, so that would be also one of my questions here. Because 6 years sounds a little bit on the shorter side. I would call it, well, if you make money, everything is fine.
That's right.
But so you think you can really enlarge that?
Yeah, so in this district, we've established approximately 1.5 million ounces of gold equivalent. And in that initial pit, we'll use about 500,000 ounces of reserves. So there's a number of resource areas surrounding the Баянхөндii deposit, some new discoveries. You know, we've hit 5 meters of 115 grams at surface on one of these new discoveries. We have 40 meters of 8 grams on another one to the west. These are not even in resources yet. So it's one of these areas where we have embarrassment of riches. You know, we will fill that pipeline, plenty of areas. In the immediate vicinity of Баянхөндii, but 16 kilometers north, we have our first discovery, which we probably talked about in 2019 because that was the only established resource. And that's Алтны, where there's also 500,000 ounces of 2-gram material that we can readily access to bring into that plant.
Okay, fantastic. So it's like a hub and spoke thing.
That's exactly, very much like that. Although I think the spokes are going to come very close to the hub in the Баянхөндii area because we just keep hitting. And, you know, you have to remember, too, that this is an area that's never seen previous exploration. We're the first people out there, and we're drilling, you know, our discoveries are at surface or within 50 meters of surface. There's been almost no drilling deeper than 150 meters in an area where we just continue to get hit after hit. So high probability, very optimistic in terms of what else we bring into this plant. We really saw it as an opportunity to get that foundation up and running and to be able to get that cash flow to remove the threat of dilution in this current environment.
Absolutely. What would be the projected AIC?
The AIC that just came out in the recent feasibility, and this is just a few weeks ago, is 869.
Whoa, 869. That's
so
okay.
Certainly lower decile, if not much better than that.
Oh, that sounds
so 869 good. All in sustaining costs, 100 million capex with a 12% contingency built into that.
Okay, so you're on the safe side, I would say.
Yeah, I'd like to think so.
And it's only like, what is it then, 14 months away from production?
Yeah. We allowed ourselves about 2 years. We're well into it. We'll be 15% complete by Christmas. We have an excellent ECP contractor who's come along with our new partner. So our new partner, MMC, has a parent company, MCS, who has a number of affiliated companies that work in construction and utilities. So when we look at this new area, we see the opportunity to build out a new mining district, and they bring all those elements you would need to complete the infrastructure, the power facilities and such to support this new area.
Okay, super. I saw in your presentation also that you have copper molybdenum.
Yeah,
What's
really,
going on there?
What brought us into that region initially back in 2005, and actually we purchased it from Mohammed Al Fayed at Harrods Department Store at the time. We bought the Zunmod project, which was an early stage, 8-hole, looked like an interesting moly deposit or discovery. Since that time, we've established 270 million pounds of molybdenum in measured and indicated, and equivalent or slightly higher copper components. So at today's metal prices, we're sitting on $5 to $6 billion of metal in situ. Moly prices have rebounded significantly over the last 24 months and sit in the low 20 US range. So we're now looking at how we can start to move that forward. It's sat somewhat in inventory for a few years. With the deficiency of molybdenum production in China, we see a great opportunity. The infrastructure continues to encroach on southern Mongolia from China, almost exponentially, road, rail, power coming into the country. So as that comes in, we'll see the lower cost of capital and infrastructure in that area benefiting Zunmod, and we'll move that towards production in the later years over the next 3 to 5 years.
Given the size of the project and that you are then now a producer making money, could you fund that out of the gold business?
I think you're certainly in a better position to be providing some of the capital into that project, but it'll likely be coming in at a $300 to $500 million capital project. But as you know, being in cash flow gives you better access to debt facilities as well. So with the relationships we're building now with the development banks, we see real opportunity to put together that funding package in the coming years.
Okay, super. Well, sounds like a good game plan.
Yeah, very exciting times.
Wish you well.
Thank you.
Merry Christmas. Thank you very much for the update.
Great to see you.
Great to see you. Thank you, Peter. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, it was Peter Akerley, the CEO of the Erdene Resource Development. And you heard it. This is the next gold producer in Mongolia. They are only 14 months away, approximately, from the full production start here. And the ramp up is going well. 15% by Christmas is already done. And also, don't forget, copper moly is coming into the play. This is even a larger project. And I think this is exactly a great combination, what you want to have, what we need, because copper and moly is in high demand, also in the future, even more. And gold, we all know, we all need gold because that's the insurance for the wealth. So check out the company. Thanks for watching us, and bye-bye from Zurich.